Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Ducksy Gaming, and a new video going through the skill tree for leveling on a Lightning Strike Raider. The reason I brought this out is I've redone the leveling POE because it was lacking quite a few bits that I'd want if I was a new player or trying to skill for the first time. So firstly, someone on Discord's kindly gone and color-coded all of the skill gems here. And then in the tree, I've added in passive trees for each act, and then also what you need to do when you're mapping. Ignore the items. I haven't put items in because when you're leveling, everyone's going to pick up different items with different attributes, so they don't really mean a lot. Later on in the video, I'm just going to go through very end game what changes you might make to the tree if you wanted to tweak a few things depending on what stats you have on your gear. So we'll start with Act 1. We pass through these projectile nodes here, which we are going to respec later on, but they're really handy for early damage on Brutus. First place you want to head down to is Primal Spirit because you need the strength and intelligence to equip some of the gems. You then pass through Heart of Oak, take Finesse and go to the Ellie nodes there. On to Act 2, you're just filling out the life wheel with 50 life mastery, and then you go up and start taking the reservation nodes here. Moving into Act 3 and 4, complete the reservation wheel and take the mastery. Then the next nodes you want to head to are the claw node there because you want to take a mastery. Now it's selected as 1% attack and mana leech, mainly because that's what you want end game or even Act 5 or 6, and I didn't want people to get confused. But early on you probably want to take the actual number life gain on hit, so 10 life and 5 mana, because early on you're probably not doing anywhere near enough damage to actually leech when it's only at 1%. And then you would respec that a bit later on once you're more comfortable with your damage. You're then going to take the Ellie nodes here and then go out to the right wing of the tree over here. Then going to go to Act 5. Here we're just going to start pathing up to Claws of the Magpie. Obviously I've only assigned a few points in Act 5 because it's a really short act. This is where you want to start heading, and then as you go into Act 6, you take Claws of the Magpie but you ignore the other part of the wheel for now, and then come down and take these Ellie damage nodes here and also look to fill out the life and evasion wheel here. Going into Act 7, you can pick up these life nodes here along with the 10% mastery, and then you start going towards this life wheel down here. At Act 8, finish the life wheel and take point blank, then come down here and take these nodes here for accuracy. Then as you can see, we've got this nice square here, which is the point where we can respec, and it's normally going into around Act 9. And the way you would respec is you fill out these nodes here. The reason I'm going this way is that it has some accuracy on it and we desperately need accuracy on this build. If you don't need it, you could go through the evasion nodes. And then you would remove the projectile nodes and these nodes here. So you've got this sort of V shape here. And then you can take these spell suppression nodes as well. Keep an eye out on these nodes because at some point when your stats don't need them, you're going to drop them. And then moving into Act 10 and beyond, depending on what level you are when you finish Act 10, your priorities here are to get the suppression wheel completed because we want to be capped when we hit maps, or when we get in early maps realistically. And then you want to take the critical strike chance here. There's these crit nodes here that you want to take and these crit nodes here. Obviously, depending what level you are at 10, you might not be able to take them all, so you just take them when you get to early maps. There's two optional nodes here, which you can take if you don't get suppression on your gear, and they should cap you out. Then if we move into early mapping, I would first go up and take the life nodes, also gets more strength, which again, you can revisit that to see if you can drop it. These pierce nodes here, you have to start pathing towards once you're close to transitioning to Lightning Strike. And this is when we want to start filling out the wheel here and also getting our masteries in. So the 40% Nightblade here, and then the 40% crit multi for Nightblade here. These are really important for when you put Nightblade support in. They're going to give you a big damage boost. You can also take the dual socket. And then as you come onto mid mapping, you're just going to go up and get your extra frenzy charge and another dual socket. And then just have a look around this tree for masteries because there's going to be some that start sneaking in. So increased damage. Effective non-damaging ailments will come in there. And as I say, we have this precision one here. There's also a non-damaging ailment one there you could take. And then there's a grace reservation here that you can take. You probably don't need both these reservations, so I would take them to start with, and if you've still got like, 20% unreserved mana, then drop one or both of them. And that's kind of how you're going to be for mid-mapping until you get into the 90s. Now this is a level 95 tree, and this is with Pierce on the tree still, so you don't have it on your gear. Only thing we've added in is the Cullen Strike nodes here. You can take these at any stage because we're going to have this set up from Act 3 or 4, I think now. I've just added them here, but you could add them earlier in if you wanted to sacrifice other nodes on the tree. And then we're going to go up and get Ghost Dance ready for when we get the Gravicious craft. Now, once you get Pierce on your gear, there's two different routes you can go really. You're going to drop, obviously, the Pierce nodes, and you can go up here, get these Chaos Res, and also get Corrupted Blood immunity here. If you're more bothered about mapping quickly, these are really good nodes to take. They're 1 point extra, so you'd have to drop a Mastery somewhere to fit it in, so it could be that you drop, one of the Masteries here, or it might be that you can finally drop one of your reservation Masteries. You might need to drop a point to pick this tree up. And the way we're going is we're going to go Onslaught effect here. Also gives us increased armor and evasion. And then the Mastery here is also really good, especially if you're stacked for evasion. You can basically get either 5% evasion as armor, which when you add an armor flask in and flasks that have percentage armor, it actually gives you a half decent amount that might stop you getting one shot in a case where you normally would. Or you could just go for more evasion on 8% increased evasion rating per frenzy charge. So as you can see, this tree here, character level 95, but we've only got 3 points spare. So you would drop a couple of Masteries, and then you would be there at level 95. The other option you can do when you get to end game is keep an eye on these nodes here. Let's say, for example, you've got a Bottle Faith and you've got a chest for crit chance on, you've got crit chance on your claw. You're probably going to be overkill for crit chance. So these nodes here and these here, you might be able to drop and allocate nodes elsewhere. So what you might do is say, right, I don't want these. So what I'm going to do is go and get these Chaos nodes and the Corrupted Blood immunity. And I want this Mastery here. And then that takes to a level 96 tree. You could then say, right, I don't need those crit either. They do nothing for me. That would be a level 94 tree. And then you've got the best of both worlds. You've got defensive aspects here from the Chaos Res and Corrupted Blood immunity. And you've got Onslaught on kill, extra evasion, and all this stuff down here. These are the other nodes to keep an eye on. They're always decent. They're always like, might add 2% DPS per node. But early on, they're more. They'll be like 4, 5, 6%. As you get further on, you get much more percentage elemental damage on your gear. These become less and less useful. So have a look at these in POB. See if you could remove them and add something else that helps you more. You can maybe unspec them, go in here, get some more life, take this life here, and then you've got, much more life from the tree. There's loads of different ways you can play around with the tree at end game, and it's all going to be dependent on the gear that you've got. Feel free to put some comments in the videos if you've got any questions. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch for League Start for the first 6 or 7 hours. And then on the Saturday and Sunday, I'll be on during the day as well. Now, I'm in the UK, so just bear in mind the time when you check if I'm online, because I do need my beauty sleep. But that's kind of it for now. Last group of nodes to cover, actually, before I sign off. These nodes here, you'll probably need if you don't have accuracy on your gear. If you've got a fair amount of flat accuracy on your gear, these probably don't do that much. So again, you could drop them, get your leech here, and then that gives you 2 more points. So there's loads of ways you can drop nodes that might not be efficient, that were efficient at the start, and then add in different nodes that give you either more damage or more life or more survivability. And there's loads of different options. So do have a play around. Once you get to like level 92, 93, have a look at your tree again, play around with the nodes and see if there's something you might be able to do to either eke out some more damage or survivability. That covers this video. As always, thanks for watching. Take care and see you next time.